Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about 5 things that I'm not buying this year and 5 things that I am definitely going to invest in this year. I see a lot of no buy videos and no spend years and things, that kind of video pop up on YouTube every January, and while I don't think a no buy would work for me, there's definitely some things that over the last couple of years we've spent a lot of money on that this year I just don't want to. We have enough. And the 5 things that I'm not buying are kind of triggers for me, that things that I usually impulse buy and that I tend to buy and then donate because I don't want them anymore. So this year I'm just saying, you know what, let's not buy any of those. But to make it a positive thing rather than a negative thing, I'm also going to talk about 5 things that I am definitely willing to invest money on. Of course, that's money that is budgeted that we have to spend for those things, but 5 things that make me really happy that I'm definitely going to spend more money on this year. And yeah, 5 things that I'm going to spend less money on. So let's just go ahead and get started with the 5 things that I'm not going to spend money on this year. So the first one is something that I do spend quite a lot of money on, especially over the last couple of years. And it's also something that I often find that I don't even enjoy, and I donate them or they sit in the back of the cupboard, and that is kitchen appliances. So if you've watched my channel for a while, you've probably seen a cycle of kitchen appliances come and go from our home, and it's something that I really I think that I like buying, but then once I have them, I don't actually enjoy, one, storing them because our kitchen is so small that it's just stressful to buy big appliances that I then have to find something for. And 2, I quite often use them for a few months and then don't use them anymore. So that is something that in 2023 I am not going to be buying. Even if they break, I won't be replacing most of them. I think the only ones that I would replace are our coffee maker. We have 2 coffee makers, an espresso maker and a filter coffee. I would definitely replace those. We save a lot of money not buying coffee out. And Mike and I both really love coffee, especially on Saturday and Sunday mornings. So if they break and cannot be fixed, I'm willing to buy that. And also my mixer. So I use my mixer a lot to do baking and make our pizza dough and things. So if that broke, I'm willing to replace it. But anything else, that's just going to be the end of that appliance. And I'm also not going to be buying any new appliances in 2023 and hopefully 2024 and 2025. I think I have everything that I need in that area. Number 2 is furniture. So in the past year, I haven't really bought any big pieces, but we have bought little pieces of furniture. Like things for the boys' room, and I am really tempted to buy a new couch because our couch is quite old and we've recovered it, and I just don't want to spend money on that. So that's another thing we're not going to be buying, is any furniture pieces at all for our home. In the last couple of years we've put in our big kitchen island and things like that. We just have everything we need, so that's another thing we're not going to be spending money on, is furniture. Number 3 kind of goes along with furniture, and that is storage items. So I love reorganizing things. You would have seen that in a lot of my videos that I try out new organizing systems and things, and I really don't need to do that anymore. Everything is organized. It's kind of like my felt store where I sell my bags. I wanted something to organize those, and instantly I was looking at new things to organize them where I don't need to. I can move some things around and I can find places. We have all of the storage items we need, and if I feel like reorganizing something, I can take something from one room and switch it around. That's fine. But I'm not going to be buying any more storage items. And if you're in New Zealand and you live near a Kmart, you know how hard that is because they have so many cute storage ideas and things to store items in. But in 2023, I will be buying no new storage items, and that's going to save us quite a bit of money, I think. And number 4 is planners and notebooks. I used to work at a stationery store called KKK where they sold really bougie Swedish stationery. And I really loved it, and I still love buying cute stationery, and I do quite often buy a planner at the beginning of the year and switch it out multiple times throughout the year, and that's something I just don't need to be spending money on. Like the furniture and the storage items, they can be quite big purchases, but stationery, it's small, just $5 or $10 here, $20 there, but it really does add up, and it's something that I'm not willing to spend money on. So I have plenty of half-finished notebooks and things that I can use up, and my $7 Daiso planner that I bought at the beginning of this year is going to be my planner for the entire year. So if you see me in a video using another one, call me out on it. Stationery is not something I'm going to be buying, or I'm going to try not to buy in 2023. And the last thing is crafts, but I am sticking to one craft. So again, if you watch my channel for a while, you know I like to try out lots of different crafts. I have many things on the go at once. And this year I'm not going to be trying out anything new. I'm going to be focusing on one thing, which I'm going to talk about in my things I'm willing to spend money on in just a moment. I am going to finish the projects that I have kind of half finished this year, but I will not be spending any money on any other craft other than my chosen one for 2023, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Yeah, those are the 5 things I will not be spending money on in 2023. Kitchen appliances, furniture, storage items, extra crafts, and cute stationery. And now on to the positive bit. So these are the 5 things I am definitely willing to spend money on this year. They make me really happy, they make my family happy, and it's something that we're going to use the money that we would have spent on the 5 things I'm not buying anymore, and we're going to spend that instead on these 5 items. So the first one is experiences. So we're definitely going to budget more money this year for experiences, and that doesn't always mean really like big expensive things. It can be small things as well. My boys love going up the cable car. I was trying to think what it was called. Here in Wellington we have a cable car that goes up to the top of a hill, and there's a park and a space place for kids, things like that. We're definitely going to be doing more of that. So more experiences is something that we are 100% going to spend more money on this year. And number 2 kind of fits in with number 1, and that is our Fiji holiday that the kids talk about all the time that we want to pay for in cash. So that is something we're definitely going to be saving for and putting more money towards. Number 3 is books. So in the past I haven't liked to buy a lot of books because I don't really have a space to put them, but books is something that have made me really happy in the past few months. And while I'm not willing to buy a bookcase because I'm not buying any furniture, I have managed to use things that we already own to find a space to store some books in our small home. And while I'm not going to go crazy, I'm going to have no problem buying books as well as reading them from the library, but definitely worth investing in. So that is number 3, and that is books. Number 4 is kind of a new one, and that is gardening. Now we live in a, like I said, a small home, and we have a small front garden that you can't actually play in. It's more just to keep the street looking nice, but it's something that Lockie really enjoys and that I really enjoy doing with him. So that's something that we're willing to invest more money in this year, is small space gardening ideas. We recently bought some raised beds that we've planted some vegetables in out on our balcony, and I have a little trolley that was already in the house that I'm using to grow some seeds and some microgreens and some herbs. And yeah, something I'm really enjoying and that Lockie loves, so I'm glad that we have that thing that we can do together. So yeah, that's number 4 is gardening. And then number 5 is the craft that I was talking about. And I have really been enjoying knitting this year. In the past, I've also really enjoyed sewing, which I still enjoy, but I feel like I've made a lot of things with sewing. I'm still going to, of course, sew the bags that I sell on my felt store, but I'm not going to be sewing any new clothes or anything this year because I really want to invest money in knitting so that I can knit really good quality pieces that I can keep for a really long time. My goal this year is to knit my first jersey, so I'd really like to get into making some knitwear as well as the little accessories that I've started with. So that's something that if I have spare money that I want to spend on a craft, it's going to be invested in really good quality yarn and things like that for knitting. So yeah, that is 5 things I am not spending money on this year and 5 things I am really excited to invest in this year. If you have anything that you think you're going to try and stop buying this year, or things that you want to spend your money on this year, let me know down in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!